What's up, y'all? We're back again. See who joins. Back again tonight. So we got a little bit of engine rust now from, I guess, brake cleaning, but I kind of feel like it was always on it too. And the reason why is because, number one, where all the grease is, you know, still looks greasy in some spots, which is very normal. But not only that, the rest of the engine looks perfectly fine, where I used a whole bunch of brake cleaner. So my bets are it was always rusty up here. Probably from just, you know, intake manifold just being rusty. Kind of normal, no big deal. So tonight we're gonna get with it, try to clean some stuff, just the normal, the casual. Like I said, we wanna, let's see, guess who? I know who that is. Hey, Nani. I'm reloading the engine again. Trying to do this every night, mainly so that way I can go. Amber, hey Amber. How are y'all? Reloading the engine. Amber, you could have came over and watched this, but nope. Instead, you had to have a Valentine's party. It's okay. It is what it is. I'm just cleaning up after the mess I made with rebuilding the engine and being impatient. I think I got a little rust on it, but it's okay. You gotta make mistakes to know not to do it again sometimes, you know. Do you need some help? Yeah, if you want to come help, you can. You can help me read at least. I definitely need help with that. So much oil on this sponge. Look at my sponge that I'm using to clean the engine. Pretty gross, isn't it? So, use a little bit of this to try to clean the sponge. Alright. I'm going to use vinegar to clean the engine. You're probably not supposed to do that. It's white vinegar. But it is what it is. Let's see. I'm going to beat you for driving like you were. Actually, Amber, nope. That wasn't me. That was Joel. I just told him to say it was me. So that's on you. You can go beat Joel, though, or I can beat him up for you. That makes it easier. Let's see. Amber, do you know, does white vinegar rust metal any more than it already is? I hope not. You probably know, though. Or Nani, you might know, too. I don't know. I'm just doing it anyways, though. Because it's gotta get cleaned somehow. They don't clean themselves. Yeah, Nani, I know you're laughing. That was really Joel. I was driving very responsibly every time I drive. I'm very responsible. Also, you said you saw Joel in the driver's seat. So, not me. Let's see. Hope it doesn't rust anymore. The more rust, the bad. But I do have some rags now, so I can kind of dry it. Let's see. Well, it's acid, so maybe. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let me go check. Yeah, go check. If it dries completely, I don't think it'll rust. Yeah, I don't think it will either. But I figured I can also dry it with shop rags like this, and then it probably won't rust at all. Because the faster I dry it, the less time it has to rust. But I did use brake cleaner on the top end of it today. But like I said, whenever I first joined, I don't know if y'all were on, I think it was always rusty like this because whenever I used the brake cleaner, I don't feel like that rusted it anymore because the rest of the block still looks perfectly fine. So I don't think that was from me. But could have been. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, it's still nice. Yeah, so I'm just cleaning the cylinders right now, cylinder walls, out of the rust that I put on there. There's a tiny bit in there too now. But I gotta hone these anyways. And then I had to do a crankshaft. all those bearings are going to be replaced. And Joel let me use his car earlier today, and you did not see me driving then, Amber. That was like at like 3 o'clock, and I went to AutoZone and picked up some more parts. So I got the timing chain cover, timing chain, the timing gears for the camshaft and the crankshaft. So I just went ahead and bought all those because it was like 10 more bucks to get the whole thing instead of just the chain. So I just figured a fan will be great for drying. Yeah, sadly I don't have a fan, so I just have to use rags right now. A fan's a little too high-tech for me. I do have a heat gun though. Maybe that would help, I don't know. It's honestly not that bad though, it's just surface rust at the top, which I don't think is going to do anything. So I'm just kind of going to leave it. Doesn't matter. See? Let me show you. Pick up the camera and bring it around to the engine. Let's see. Alright, so now let me get the light too. Yeah, so it's a dirty work area because I'm working in a tiny little shed. But there's some surface rust now on the top of it. And little in the pistons, but nothing crazy. So I think it'll be perfectly fine. Actually, I don't think it'll be perfectly fine. It'll definitely be perfectly fine. It just needs a good cleanup now. And that's about it. And actually, Amber tab, to tackle items of significant corrosion, submerge your rusty tools or knives in a bowl of white vinegar and let them sit overnight or as long as 24 hours. Once they have a good soak, remove them from the vinegar and scrub the rust out with steel wool and a scrubbing pad or a wire brush. Okay. Actually, I have a wire brush right here. Thanks, Amber. I have one, yeah, literally right here. Let me get the leaves off of it. Yeah, I can get to that right now. Yep. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Thank you, Amber. It's already coming off. Now, I can't do that inside the pistons, because that would be a really good way of, you know, scratching your pistons a lot more than you need them to. Nani said, looks good, thanks. Yeah, so I got it pretty much completely torn down right now. And I just want to get it back together. I ordered some parts. So I want to have it back together within the next week and back in the truck and running. And then I think I'm going to go get a car with a blown head gasket or something. Some kind of issue. So that way I can tear it apart. And I can fix the car and get a car for cheap too. So that way, welcome, thanks. Yep, thank you. Yeah, so that way I can get a car for cheap and I can have something a little better on gas. Because this is a gas guzzler, that's for sure. It's a lot of fun. But it's a gas guzzler and it has a lot of problems. So I'm kind of just going to try to clean it up now and then hopefully it's back together kind of soon. But I don't know. Yeah, this is already looking way better. Just wire brushing it. I have no idea why I didn't think of that. Let's see. Yeah, if I would have just wire brushed it from the start, this wouldn't have been a problem. It's almost like the wire brush not working in this spot. But I guess it's working better than nothing. Yeah, so Amber, what do you think about that? What if I went and got a little car that has problems, like a head gasket? Which just means the head gasket's just right here, so I wouldn't have to pull the engine out to do that. I would just have to take the heads off and the valves. So I would go buy a little car and then fix the head gasket. I could have two vehicles, one that's good on gas and one that's fun to drive and cool. Now the car will be good on gas and this will be fun to drive and cool. It will be sad though because I don't think I'll be driving my truck every day. Just remember you always... Oh wait, just remember you always need me. Yeah, for real. You want to give me your Jeep? If you could give me your Jeep, that would that'd definitely help. That would definitely save me on a lot of gas. So if you If you're ever looking to get rid of the Jeep to your favorite nephew, just let me know. Let's see. I think you should work on that Jeep in your driveway. Probably not, Amber. That thing's a piece of junk. I think my dad should work on that. I have my own projects now, so if he wants to give me that, I'll help him. Or not help him. If he wants to give me that, I'll have it and fix it. But otherwise, probably not. Let's see. Yeah, otherwise probably not, because like I said, I have enough stuff to work on and fix. Stuff like that. And you gotta pay for gas and this and that, so I don't have enough time to be fixing a Jeep for fun. Especially right now. Amber, how fast do you think I can get this thing put back together? I already think about it. It's only been 4 days since I started this, 4 work days. I didn't work on it Friday or Saturday or anything. But what if I think I can put this back together. 4 days, I got it all the way down. I think another 5 days, 6 days, I can get it back together. Probably. Now there goes almost all the surface rust. Let me just get these corners. There you go. That doesn't look half bad. Another week. Yeah, that's what I thought too. 1 week. Alright. So after I wire brushed it, like you said, now doesn't look that bad at all. See? There's a big difference. I can't get these corners. I can get these later. But right now, looks pretty good. Yeah, I think a week. At least hopefully. I don't want to not have a truck for that long. Can't believe I just got my license and I already had to pull out the engine, but I guess that happens. Especially when you drive an old truck. That'll probably make it easy for you to do this kind of stuff. When you have an old truck, you'll get a lot of experience working on stuff. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. So I gotta pull the crankshaft out now. The camshaft up here. I would like to put a different cam in it, but I don't know if I'm gonna spend that much money on all those parts. But a crankshaft, camshaft, and that's pretty much just about it. There's honestly not that much more to do it. Just take that down and that's it. I could get that done tonight, but I have a lot of cleaning up to do, so I think I might just clean and then call it a day. But I'm going to take a little bit of oil, put it on my gloves, and then put it in these pistons, because these have just small little spots of rust. So just kind of run it around like that. Let's see, what did you say, Amber? Let me check that. Yeah, that looks great. I think it's too cold out there for you. No, I've been doing this all day pretty much. I did take a break to go eat with my buddies, and then I went to O'Reilly's to pick up a whole bunch of parts, like I said. So I don't think so. I think it's perfect weather. It's only like, I don't know, it's not that cold tonight. Let's see, Billy builds. How cold is it? I actually don't know. I didn't check the weather. It feels like it's probably 40 degrees. If that even, probably 45. It's not bad at all. Me too. No, it's not too cold, Nani. Although, how cold is it? Nani, I don't know. I didn't check the weather, and I can't check it while I'm doing this. Let's see. Yeah, so, Billy builds. So I tore down the engine, and I used some brake cleaner on it to get a whole bunch of the junk off with a wire brush and brake cleaner. And it left a little bit of surface rust, so I'm just wire brushing that off right now. I'm putting some oil in the pistons. I mean, not the pistons, the cylinder walls. Cleaning these up a bit. And tomorrow I'm going to hone them out. And everything will be taken apart tomorrow for sure. But I kind of paused. I got all the pistons out since you were here and all that. But how cold is it? I don't know. Ba'awaa. That's a pretty funny name. Oh, that's Isaac. Just wondering how cold is it. Yeah, like I said, I have no clue. You put in the chat how cold it is. I can't check right now. How you been doing though, Isaac? What you been up to? Let's see. It feels like 43. Oh, well, when you're doing this, it really doesn't feel that cold. It's 46. Okay. Yeah, I figured it was somewhere around there. It's really not that cold. And like I said, when you're doing this stuff, you're not that cold at all. So it's not that bad. Not that bad at all. Just kind of want to oil these up. It's probably not the proper way to do this. Let's see. It's 46. You said good. School. That's what you've been up to. You still working at the snow cone shop? Right across the street? If you're still working there, then whenever I get the truck back together, I'll have to stop by. Because that was fun last time, wasn't it, Isaac? Let's see. I'll put this back together. You still working there? Yeah, you are. Well, yeah, I'll have to stop by. That was super fun, right? I'm sure your boss loved that visit. We should get free ice cream next time, though. No, I'm kidding. That's not how it works. I feel like if you visit your friend at work, you should probably leave a tip or something instead of them giving you free stuff. I never understood why you get free stuff for going to visit your friend at work. Kind of weird. Anyways. Also, I got to sand down the heads before I change all the gaskets out and everything. And I bought an oil pump, too. So I got to pull the oil pump filter off. And all that. There's a lot of stuff to remember. But I do have a book on how to do all of it, so if I ever get lost, I always have a book to go to. And the guys that did the book know what they're doing. So, I don't. This is the first engine I ever took apart. I'm kind of just taking stuff apart right now, looking it down. Let's see. Have you ever wanted to sell that truck since the engine broke, or do you like it too much? Yeah, there was definitely a time where when the engine blew, or not blew because the bottom end didn't go, but when it started acting up, I definitely was slightly considering selling the truck, but then I was thinking about it, and I was like, you can't sell the truck. So we're here now doing all this. But yeah, I definitely did want to sell it at one point. It's a hassle to drive an old truck, and I didn't realize that because I wasn't driving it every day until I started driving it every day, and then I realized it's just a big hassle. Yeah, so kind of what we're working with right now. Taking apart everything and degreaser, cleaning, there's a whole bunch of stuff. It's not too fun. Engine degreaser goes quick. I guess while I was at AutoZone, I probably should have got some of that, but to be honest, I don't know, I could have done without it. Also, I forgot to show everyone that usually, stops by and tunes in. All the experience in this truck, don't let her go. Yeah, I know, that's what I figured. I figured with everything I've done with it, as soon as I sell it, I'm going to regret it. So I'm just going to keep it. But, Billy, this is what we got so far. Last time you tuned in, we still had all the pistons in it and everything, and a whole bunch more parts. So we're basically stripped down now. I think the reason the surface rusts is because you put water and coolant to clean it. Yeah, probably, but I already got the surface rust off, Fisher. So now that we got that off, which is not that bad anymore, there's all these coolant ports. I don't know how to get that off. Billy, I know you do engine work, so you know, but there's all my pistons over there. I'm going to have to try to find a way to clean those too without rusting them and change all the piston rings. Then I got to take the crankshaft out, camshaft out, and all the lifters out. But then after that, I think we'll be good to go. But Billy Builds, how would you get rust out of all the coolant ports in your engine? Because like I said, I don't have a clue right now, and I just now looked in them and I was like, well, there's quite a bit of rust in there. So yeah, stick your finger in it and it's a little rusty. I don't know if y'all can see that on camera, probably not, but it's a little rusty. So yeah, tomorrow we're gonna take out these lifters, and like I said, I went and bought a whole bunch of parts. So we're getting really close, like really, really close to being done with the teardown. Now I do have to order piston rings. I do have to order, what's it called? All the bearings in between the pistons. You know what I'm talking about. These things here. Let's see. Probably from running water as coolant, maybe. Yeah, I know whenever I owned the truck and my grandpa, there was coolant in it. This was my grandpa's truck before me. So it did have some coolant in it. Actually, all of it was coolant. So it was the person before us for sure. But I'm assuming they used water because that's something they did back then. Which I don't know why they did that. That was never a good idea to put water in metal. But this is what I'm talking about. These little type of bearings in your piston rings, got to go ahead and order these too, and all the bearings in the camshaft too. Not camshaft. Why do I keep on saying camshaft? Crankshaft. All the crankshaft bearings. There's some of them that have some pretty deep slots in it. So I did label all my pistons, and I just put them on this big styrofoam piece from something my parents ordered. So we're just kind of doing a rebuild now. But I guess I should flush the block to get all that rust out tomorrow. I'll have to look up on how you do that, because I have zero clue. But yeah, you just feel the camshaft moving, all the lifters. Now I don't know. I'm gonna take a look at the lifters too. I might have to order those. I'll see. Hopefully not. Rebuilding an engine is expensive, but I'm assuming when you have to buy a ton of parts, it's more expensive. So I hope these lifters are still good. Although, is this something you would just replace whenever you take the engine out? Just go ahead and do the lifters. I know it's on the top end. It would be kind of easy to change later if I technically had to, but I just figured if they were good, then I would still use them. So, yeah. But, I feel like this block was always rusty at the top. I was positive it was. It's really not bad anymore, though. The rest of the block looks great. It's pretty clean, too. Engine degreaser goes real fast, so I just started using brake cleaner. And, that's about it. Any of y'all have any questions, you can just put them in the chat, and I'll try to answer as many as I can. But, yeah. Just kind of taking it apart, stripping it down right now. Got a whole bunch of parts buckets, so I'll definitely be looking forward to getting this back together, because right now there's just, like I said, a ton of parts buckets and a whole bunch of stuff like that just sitting around, and it's slightly stressful to have a whole bunch of parts just sitting in buckets that all need to go back together very exact, and if you put any of it together wrong, then you're going to have a lot of problems. So don't want to do that. Just want to leave it as is. Kind of, how did it break? I actually have no idea. Let's see, I think the lifters can be reused. However, I think the TBI has some pretty affordable options out there. Yeah, they definitely do have some affordable options. I was actually surprised whenever I tore down this truck and started going to O'Reilly's and stuff to buy parts. It really wasn't that expensive to, do any of this. But I say not that expensive. Obviously, it's kind of expensive because it's an engine rebuild, but not bad. Let's see, Bottle Watt said, how did it break? Well, to be honest, I actually don't know. I was on the interstate, and a semi-truck was passing me, so I let him get over, obviously, and pass me. But then I realized if a semi-truck's passing you, you're probably going a little slow, so I hit the gas a little. Not anything major, like just a tiny bit to get up there, like you normally would on any vehicle. And then it started bogging down and running kind of weird. And I didn't notice any smoke at first because I was on the interstate, so then I pulled off to my buddy's house, and I pulled in their driveway, and it was smoking a good amount. So right then and there, I kind of knew something was up. We have surface rust on everything. Okay, it's all going to get brushed down, but yeah. So I knew it was broke as soon as it started smoking, and it sounded like it was running on 7 cylinders pretty much all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that it was, because I won't doubt what I heard. All I know is what I heard. Definitely doesn't sound like a healthy engine. So, also to answer your question, I could have fixed this without pulling the whole entire engine out. But, have you found the problem? No, actually. Well, I mean, I've noticed some problems, but I don't think any of them would have caused major problems. Like, there's nothing I've torn the engine apart and looked at and went, wow, that's really messed up. Like, I've noticed, for example, when I took off the intake manifold, which is right here. It's probably the lightest part to the top end. Took out this is the intake manifold, and there were some leaves in there, and I'm not even joking. As soon as I pulled it out, there was a shop rag in it. I don't know, like not like a big lint one, like one of these. Like one of these, just kind of like this in the intake. It had some oil on it and stuff, which I thought was really weird, and there was just a whole bunch of gunk. It all had big chunks of basically rocks, which was old burnt oil like this. So that's basically it. I haven't really found any major issues, but I've found some things that as I cracked it open, I've been like, well, I'm glad I'm rebuilding this. So yeah, I mean, Like I said, I could have done this though, as I was saying, without pulling out the whole entire engine. But I kind of just figured it's an old truck. It probably needs rebuilt anyways. And on top of that, it was leaking oil out of the rear main seal. So I was like, it's time to pull it anyways and try to, instead of just trying to patch it together and stitch it together all the time, I was like, let's just pull it, get it over with, rebuild it, put it back in. So that way, I know what I'm driving and I don't have to, you know, kind of guess what I'm driving. Instead of, you know, just don't have to worry about stuff and just drive it instead of doing a whole bunch of extra crap. So, yep. Now, honestly, I don't know if there's much more to do than that besides clean. A little surface rust here too. It could use a good wire brushing tomorrow, that's for sure. I ordered a whole bunch of parts. Now, there is one weird thing about these. So, I ordered a. Okay, that doesn't just wiggle off. That's what I thought. Amber Tab, love you, boy. Love you too, Amber. I will see you later, probably Sunday. Let's see, bottled water. How do you have enough money for this? What do you do for work? Honestly, I don't even know how I have enough money for this. I kind of just make it work somehow. But I used to do HVAC for work, and right now I'm not really doing anything. So I kind of am just banking off savings and knowledge and trying to be kind of cheap with parts and knowing good parts to buy for a decent price. But otherwise, it's mainly just guesswork, hoping I have enough, stuff like that. Yeah, so anyways, what I was saying, guys, is I bought another oil pump because I figured this is on literally the very bottom of the engine. And I was like, there's no way I want to crawl under my truck, pull off the oil pan just to change this thing out because I was too lazy to do it up top. He got them YouTube bucks. Yeah, a little, tiny bit. But yeah, we, like I said, we're just pulling this out right now. And I noticed that the oil pump just needed replaced, like I said. But the weird thing about these is it didn't come with this oil filter on it. And like I said, Billy, you know probably more than engines about me. Well, not probably, you've rebuilt engines before, you said, so you definitely know more than me about engines. I'm pretty sure I'm just supposed to pull this oil filter off and put it on my new oil pump, but I also don't 100% know, so it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. Watch videos, I'm sure. Also, I have a whole book right there, so you know, we can just reference the book every time we need it. And then these are still degreasing all my heads here. This is kind of what we got going on, guys. Here's the heads, and we're just degreasing. Let's see. I've never done what you're doing. We're learning together, haha. Yeah, we're definitely learning together. Like I said, I have absolutely no clue. The only thing, I mean, I knew engine parts, obviously, like crankshaft, camshaft, pistons, almost all the parts of the engine. Especially these older engines, they're kind of simple. I don't want to jinx myself when I'm putting it back together, though, because I'm sure that'll get more complicated. Tearing it down was simple, but basically, all I know how to do right now, I'm just as smart probably as any of you guys in the chat, because I know most of you that are subscribed to me like cars and work on them. But pretty much all I know how to do, I came in, tore the engine down, and with the only knowledge, book in my hand, and a wrench that I knew how to turn left and right. That's about it. So we're just gonna see. Let's see. I've only watched in shops and watched videos of and read books for the past 20 years. Yeah, I'm doing something different for sure. They have big shops out there on YouTube of, you know, people building engines, and like I said, just massive shops on TV shows and stuff. But I definitely don't have that. I'm working in a $300 pop-up tent from O'Reilly's and scattering all my parts in here and trying to have enough space to work. But like I said, I definitely can't complain. I got it better than a lot of people. It's really cool though to me. Yeah, I think engines are very fascinating. I've always thought they were fascinating. I'll be in my driveway, bro, so I can feel you. Oh, yeah. You're rebuilding an engine soon? Are you gonna do YouTube videos on that, or what are you doing with that? What kind of engine are you rebuilding too? I'm interested in that. Like I said, I've always been very interested in engines. That's just which is what I've been interested in. But if you have a garage, Billy, you can probably keep some of your parts in there, you know, keep them out of the weather and stuff. But yeah, definitely a little surface rust on everything. I don't know what I did. I did water on it. I dried the block because I knew water wasn't great for it. But I dried the block really good, and then I used brake cleaner. And as soon as I used brake cleaner, I noticed some rust. Yeah, so are you rebuilding a 350 or like a big block? What are you doing? Small block or big block? It'll be fun. It'll be fun, Billy. Just definitely grab a book. Let's see. I've got a 350 first, but yeah, hopefully I can throw a little cam in it and some valve springs and stuff. I'll have to pull it in my driveway and do it in a tent like you. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, that'll be fun at 350. That's what I'm doing. It's fun. It's always fun to do a 350. You know, it's kind of simple. It's not too big of an engine too. If you want if you want a bump in the power pickup, a set of Vortec heads and a roller cam from the 1996 to 1998 trucks with the heads will be 1+ compression. Okay, that's nice. I'll keep that in mind. I might be able to do that in the future though with a top end. Right now I'm kind of just rebuilding it completely stock, hoping that I can get it all back together and it runs better than it did. But in the future I would definitely be interested in doing something like this. Also, tin hat shop. This is my daily driver, so I don't want to do anything super crazy to it yet, but I know this won't always be my daily driver, so y'all can definitely expect some videos out there, some cool stuff that will happen eventually. But yeah, it's pretty fun. So, you know, it does get your clothes dirty though. So, Billy, if you're thinking about rebuilding an engine, pull out your worst clothes from your closet. Just your absolutely trashiest clothes. You don't, it just ruins clothes and makes a big mess of things in your driveway now. That will be interesting to see how you can, you know, get that done without making too big of a mess. I hope best for you, but I know I made a little mess in here, and I was being pretty careful. Not super duper careful, but pretty careful. Also, Tin Hat Shop, you commented about the heads. Have you done a head swap on your 350 or just heard of this, or what's up? Do you have a 350? I'm just interested. Like I said, I've liked engines for basically ever, so, you know, whatever advice y'all have and stuff will always be heard and appreciated by me. So, just kind of want to tear this down, and I got a bucket of vinegar here. Now, this will cause some corrosion to stuff, I know, but some of these bolts, not these bolts, these push rods really need a Ken Watts. How's the valves look? Oh, somebody commented on a video. Good night, Nani. I've done it multiple times. Oh, that's cool to hear. You have videos up on your channel? If you have videos up, I'd love to go check those out. Like I said, pretty much any knowledge I can gain from y'all on my live or on my YouTube channel, I will gladly take, because, like I said, I really don't know what I'm doing here. Just reading, looking YouTube videos, reading books, slowly getting it done. So I'm gonna drop these in vinegar and dry them off. No, I should. Yeah, you should have some videos out there for sure. If you ever start posting videos, I'm gonna keep your channel in mind. Definitely go check those out. So that'll be interesting to see. Now, I read that you can drop these in vinegar. Like I said, these are all my push rods. Heard you can drop them in vinegar and just leave them in there for about a day. It'll take this corrosion away and all this carbon buildup here, and that'll be it. I'm currently building a Vortec head roller cam, with a 350 and a 500 plus lift camshaft. Dang. That should be pretty nice. That'll push out some power for sure. Is this going to be, I'm assuming that's a high RPM build, or are you more of a low RPM guy? Yeah. I'm going to assume that's a high RPM build though. It sounds like it. Billy builds. That's some chop. Yeah, that will be some chop. That'll definitely be some chop. Also, I'm having a slightly hard time reading y'all because my phone's set up kind of weird. And I'm thinking about a million different things at once right now. So forgive me for that. Yeah, we pretty much just piecing everything together. This has been a pretty good live so far. All right, y'all. But like I said, I just dropped these in vinegar. Now, I know you've built engines before. What would your recommendations be on that? Is that a good thing to do or not? I'm using just a regular bottle of white vinegar. Like I said, I'm working with low bucks, stock rebuild, and minimum knowledge. So we'll all see how this goes together. Oh, that does kind of work. We already are getting rid of a lot of that corrosion. Yeah, I'll leave those in there. I'll be soaking other bolts and stuff too. But right now we're just doing the push rods. And let's see, diesel works really well as a degreaser. The RPM range of the cam will be 250 to 650. So 2500 to 650 RPM, that's pretty good. Also, I found the way to install beehive springs in the Vortec heads. How would you do that? Okay, so that's kind of a high RPM build. The diesel will be also prevent the corrosion while sitting for periods of time. Okay, that's a really good tip. Thanks. I imagine you'll have to hit with some WD-40 after the vinegar soaks. Yeah. I'm gonna let these soak in vinegar, these push rods, just for tonight probably. But let these soak, and I think I'll probably use diesel though for the rest of them. That's a really good tip there, thanks. That's why I like having a YouTube channel that has not like a crazy big amount of subscribers, but a decent amount of subscribers. Diesel for sure. Yeah, that's what I figured. Diesel for sure. I'm gonna let these sit for a little bit though, and then I'll swap over to diesel, but I'll have to go grab some. I'm having to borrow my brother's car right now every time I need to go somewhere because my truck's completely out. It's obviously can't drive without an engine in it, so diesel's definitely the way to go though. But as I was saying, that's why I like having kind of a smaller YouTube channel with some fans, because like Billy Builds and Tent Hat Shop, and there's a whole bunch of people that just come in here and comment. What a good brother you have. Huh, nice. Yeah, he's a great brother. I appreciate him being around. He lets me use his car. Obviously I have to fill it up with gas, but without him I'd be walking everywhere, and I don't want to walk 3 or 4 miles to go get diesel and walk 3 or 4 miles back with that. That's not on the top of my list. Top of my list right now is to get this thing back together and running. But yeah, let's see. I don't think these have to sit all night. I'm almost positive they don't, because this is already almost clean. In fact, I could probably just scrub these, dry them off, and then they'll be good. I bet. Maybe a little longer though. It might make my scrubbing job a little easier, guys. But like, look at that. That's that, and then here's how they look before. I'm gonna grab one that I haven't scrubbed yet. This is how they looked before, guys. Just black, a whole bunch of crud on it. That's how they look now. So it's working. Definitely won't be letting these sit in there all night. Probably another 5 or 10 minutes. And then I'm gonna put these in diesel. So Tin Hat Shop. Yeah, it's shiny now, that is for sure. So Tin Hat Shop or Billy Builds, y'all might know this, are these rocker arms right here. These are my rockers. They got the little spacers in the middle. Are these gonna be good to put in diesel? Or is that gonna be bad for them? I feel like it would be fine. But like I said, I also don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just learning. Just learning as I go along, and lives, when y'all comment and tell me your knowledge, really helps out. So, yep, those will be fine. Should be fine. Okay, perfect. I'm going to put those in some diesel. Probably let them sit overnight. You could do the whole engine in diesel. Okay. Alright. Actually, that doesn't sound bad. I could get a, to be honest, once I'm done disassembling it, which will probably be tomorrow, I can get a, what was I going to say? Probably a big bucket from Home Depot or something. And just throw the whole engine in there. Like one of those big, storage containers. Is that what you did? Or did you, where'd you put your engine in? Yeah, I hear you work with 350s, so what kind of container did you use? Let's see. Yeah, let me know what kind of container you use, because that'll definitely help. I can go pick one of those up tomorrow, or maybe I even have one. I don't know. But, so soaking the whole engine. Is diesel going to clean it good enough for me to be painting over it, too? Because I would like to paint the engine. But I know you can send them to shops that have the acid or whatever. They heat up really hot and soak it. I sprayed mine down with diesel and let it soak. Okay. Alright, so just get a bottle, put some diesel in it, and let it soak overnight. I can even do that with the crankshaft on there, can't I? and the camshaft, and the harmonic balancer. I can just do all those together, right? Just a spray bottle with some diesel. I feel like that will definitely work. Put all my head parts. I have a big box of that. Yep, that'll work. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna take all the parts I can. I'll put those in some diesel. And vinegar is probably too acidic, so yeah, it's definitely too acidic. Vinegar is probably too acidic, so it won't hurt the bearings. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not scared about hurting the bearings though, because I'm just planning on replacing those anyways, changing them out completely. Because I kind of figured whenever you have your engine completely apart, it's probably just a good idea to change some of the stuff. That diesel smells good too. Yeah, it definitely does. But I don't know. Well, actually, I do know. I don't like it as much as it smells when it's not burnt. When it's burnt and coming out of a truck or a tractor or something, you can't beat the smell of diesel. But not burnt, I like the smell of gas better. But burnt diesel is 100 times better. There's nothing like hearing an old truck sitting too, idling when it's all diesel and it's just healthy and running good. Can't beat it. Let's see. So I guess these pistons. I mean, not these pistons. Why do I keep on calling these pistons? I already called them pistons like twice. These push rods have holes running all the way through them. So, I guess, I don't know, that might be hard to get all that vinegar out. Might want to take these out and soak them in diesel right now. Fact, but I don't have diesel up here with me. So I can soak just about anything in diesel. That's good to know. Yeah, and then I think I'm going to replace the clutch too, guys. I usually soak the heads in diesel completely, then scrub everything down when you're assembling and ready to paint. Take a rag and brake cleaner and clean off all the diesel. Okay, so I'm gonna put everything in diesel, clean it, soak the heads in it, the intake manifold, everything in the block, and then I want to get a brake cleaner and a shop rag, scrub it, and it's ready for paint, right? My dad calls them push tubes. I didn't know why they were hollow until I replaced them. Yeah, I actually didn't know they were hollow until I saw bubbles coming out of it and the vinegar, and I was like, hey, these are hollow. So I guess you learn something new every day. Like I said, I am not the most knowledgeable on engines, so I kind of just come on here and talk about what I'm doing, and then I like to see comments from y'all and learn some stuff. So that's kind of what I like about YouTube, especially when I have a smaller channel with people that hop on. It's kind of nice to learn a thing or two every day. So some diesel. I'm gonna soak all this down, guys. We're gonna get it ready for paint tomorrow. Tearing it down tomorrow. I'm gonna order some parts that I need also tomorrow, and we're gonna soak these heads. We're gonna get everything real clean. Tomorrow will probably be a full day of cleaning. And that's about it. Here's the old head gaskets. I feel like my truck might have had a blown head gasket beforehand. I just saw that sitting there, realized it wasn't in the trash can beforehand. But you know, if it's blown, then I guess I'm glad I took it apart, but I'm pretty sure it was. The lifters actually spin on the camshaft lobes, and that causes oil to go up the push rods. Okay, see, man, where are you? Where are you? The last couple lives, you are teaching me a whole bunch of stuff tonight. It's crazy. So the camshaft lobes spin. So should I just go ahead and change the camshaft lobes up here? The lifters, you know what I'm talking about, the lifters. Should I just go ahead and replace those, get new ones in it? Or if they look good, would you keep on running them? What would you do? Tent and hat shop? I honestly don't know. I think if they look good, I might keep them in there, but I know they're also kind of cheap, so I might just replace them. But it's whatever. It's whatever works. You know what? These were cleaning easy. That one was, but now they're not. So diesel's going to be the way to go when I get off stream. I'm definitely going to soak all these in diesel tonight. I'm going to soak a whole bunch of stuff in diesel. I think I might have a little bit of diesel left. Let's see. Yeah, so like I said, would you change out the lifters or not? I think if they look okay, it would be okay, but also I don't know. The camshaft looks great though. I did take a look at the camshaft. There's no big scratches or nothing, but that's gonna go right back in. Same stock camshaft, but one day I'll definitely be changing that. Typically you only change them out when you change the camshaft, and make sure to run conventional oil with the flat taper camshaft. Okay, let me see, did I read that right? It's hard to read with the phone how it is. Yeah, I did. Okay, so they're good to go. I can leave those in there. That's good to know. I guess I'll keep on running those if they're fine. And I'm gonna do a stock camshaft right now, but one day I would love to do a 350 small block Chevy with some kind of different setup. This is, like I said, my daily driver, so I'm keeping this like this. But I feel like one day I might get like a Chevelle or something with the 350. Flat tap it. Sorry. Okay. All right, that makes more sense. Yeah, no, you're good. No problem at all. Flat. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just leave those in. That works for me. How many 350s have you rebuilt? And also, how long have you been rebuilding engines for? This is my first one, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all, pulling the engine out of the truck is not fun at all. It's annoying actually, but when you get the engine out of the truck and you start rebuilding it and tearing it down, it's kind of fun. It would be, I'm assuming it would be a lot more fun if I had some modifications that I was doing to it, but I think I'm just gonna leave it pretty stock for right now on a daily. I might do a carb swap, but carb swap means I'd have to tune it all the time for different weather and stuff, and I don't know. This is supposed to be, like I said, just a daily twist the key and drive away kind of truck. That's what I'm going for, at least. So, also, is it normal, Tin Hat Shop, for heads to have this in it? It's just a whole bunch of pretty much like rocks, just dried oil. Is that normal? It had 240,000 miles on it, but technically the tires were too small, so the mileage was slightly off. I don't know how many it had, but it was a little less. With a daily, don't carb swap. Yeah, that's what I thought. Don't carb swap it. I thought it would be neat to do, but with the daily, probably not ideal. But I don't know if you saw these rock things like I'm talking about. Just burnt oil, pretty much. Is that normal or not? Everything looks fine up top where the heads are. Nothing looks bad, but it looks like it's been ran dry or overheated or something. You know, once or twice. There's just a ton of it too. I'm sure diesel will get it off though. Like you said, it's a pretty good degreaser. This is basically just a whole bunch of crud and grease and a whole bunch of stuff. I have my heads in a bucket, so I could fill the whole thing up with diesel, but that's going to be really expensive. This is like a 20-gallon bucket here. I'm not a millionaire, so I definitely can't fill this up with diesel right now. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm going to try to clean these. Let's see how those... Yeah, diesel it is. As soon as I get off stream, I'm putting diesel in a bucket, soaking it down with diesel, and calling it a night. Anyways, Tin Hat Shop, like I said, what is that normal for there to be just a whole bunch of like just burnt oil chunks everywhere? That kind of miles? I think it is, but it was running weird, so I don't want there to be any problems with it. All the valves look okay though and everything. That means lower quality oil was used, probably not correct oil change, intervals, oil struggle, cam. Oh wait, oil change intervals, oil sludge can hide a lot. Make sure to clean it really well. It's higher mileage engine, it's pretty common. Okay, and a higher mile engine is pretty common. Okay, alright, I appreciate that. So I'll definitely be cleaning these really well and checking over everything, but honestly, here, I can even show you the bucket I got them in, and I can show you my heads and stuff. It doesn't look extremely bad. It just doesn't look great. It's not something that I would... Like, if everything looked okay, I would regret taking out this whole engine, but with how they look, I don't, because... Let me get this light over here so y'all can see that. Sorry about that for a second. It's going to be blinding y'all. But, here we go. Here's the heads. They look all okay. There's the valves in there. Everything looks okay so far, but like you said, I could probably miss some stuff because of it. There's the intake manifold. But definitely got to get it really clean, check for cracks, check for stuff that doesn't look right. Let me put this back up here, throw it all back together, and hopefully there's no problems with it. Have you had a lot of problems with heads before? I hope I don't have to do anything to it, because to be honest, this is kind of expensive, even when you don't have that many problems. When you're just doing gaskets and basic stuff, it's expensive to rebuild one of these. Very time consuming too, very. Higher mileage engine is pretty common. Yeah, same comment. What do you think though about the heads? Do you have any problems with any of the 350s you take apart? Is it common for them to fail on the head somewhere? Also about the Vortec head swap. I could probably do that on a daily even, I don't know. I don't know if that would make it any worse of a daily driver. I assume not. We're gonna let the live stream go to an hour, guys, so we got like 10 more minutes of this. And I'm gonna soak everything in diesel like he said. Let's see. Not really any issues with heads, just make sure just make sure to replace valve seals. Yeah, I have all the valve seals. That's definitely something I want to replace because I've personally definitely had issues with my valve seals. Like every time I start the truck, it smokes, and if you rev it, a little smoke comes out of it. Back then, it was a really small amount, so nothing crazy, but like I said, when you're rebuilding an engine, you just want to, I know 100% all the seals got to be changed. There's no point in taking out an engine all the way apart just to put the same crappy seals back in it. But yeah, do you think the Vortec head swap also would make it, you know, any less reliable? What do you think about that? I hope not, but I'm also kind of considering doing that. I don't think it would be that hard. I've seen people do it before. It's just bolt-on, direct bolt-on, really. So I'm assuming that's going to allow more gas in the engine. Yeah. Also, what kind of heads do I have? I don't know if I have the 202s. I know those are kind of sought after. I guess I can measure those later. I don't have a measuring tape around, really. Right now, that would be in the toolbox all the way in the back of my truck. But tomorrow I can let y'all know if I have 202s or I think the other size. Now, don't quote me on this at all. Like, at all, but I'm pretty sure the other size. One of the most reliable daily drivers I built was a 350 TDBI with a Vortec head swap along with a roller camshaft. Really? That's crazy. I might do that. I don't have too much money right now, but I know I can do that definitely in the future. But I don't think right now I have enough money to be fooling around with that, that's for sure. But in the future, that actually does sound pretty interesting. A roller cam and a... because I can always take the front end of the truck off, even though I said it's not fun, but I can do it. And I'll do a cam and a, you know, Vortec head swap. But, like I said, I wonder what kind of heads I have right now. What do you know what was common they put in these? Did they do a 202? Was that kind of common? I'm assuming not, because it's really sought after, apparently, to have 202s. So I'm going to go ahead and guess probably not. So, also with the heads, one more question before we kind of wrap things up here. Can I soak the heads in diesel? Because I can't dump diesel in this bucket. That is 100% sure. That would be a lot, and I mean a lot of money. That'd be, I don't know, 20 gallons of diesel, or this might be a 25-gallon bucket even, and I'd have to fill it all the way up to the top. That'd be like pretty darn expensive. Don't feel like paying that right now, especially while I have other stuff to pay for, like a whole bunch of parts for this engine. Yeah, so like I said, before we wrap up, could I possibly soak these down? And I don't really think I have too many other questions for y'all. If y'all have any questions for me, let me know. Plane's going by right now, so sorry about that. But like I said, any questions for me, I'll answer all of them. But I think that's about it. So y'all, let's see. I'm gonna wait, see if there's any questions or anything, and then I'm heading out. Actually, we can make it to 1 hour, to be fair. We can stream for 6 more minutes. Yeah, I'm sure we can stream for 6 more minutes. There's more stuff to talk about. So, let's talk about the clutch now, because that's something else that I'm redoing. I have the, this clutch was changed out 25 years ago. Let me bring it to camera. 25-year-old clutch right here. I left all the bolts in it, so let me try to leave those in it when I pick it up. Bear with me, y'all. There you go. Alright. Let me see if I can get this one in there. There you go. Had to do it with my chin. Alright. Did it with the chin. Yeah, 202 heads are a higher flow. I think just another TBI head. Yeah, there are another TBI head. I watched some videos on that. I hope I have 202s, but probably not, to be honest. My engine was kind of underpowered. I don't know if it's because what could have been wrong. It could be clutch, but here's my old clutch, y'all. 25 years old. It actually looks perfectly fine. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and put a different clutch in it because I do not want to be pulling out the transmission because I was too lazy to change the clutch whenever I had everything apart. So, new clutch will be going in it for sure. No doubt about that. And I want to spray everything down with diesel. And, yeah, I can show y'all what we got here with the piston rings. There was one of them that was a pain to get out. It was really tight. And I almost feel like I have to even change out the rod on it. I would just buy a flywheel and a clutch from Rock Auto. Yeah, that's what I figured. Like I said, let me check my battery percentage real quick. Okay, I'm back. So like I said, I figured when you have everything apart, just go ahead and replace it. It's expensive, but it's not something I want to be doing soon, anytime soon at all, especially on a daily driver. Had to check my battery percentage so I could bring y'all over here. But here's what we're working with. This was piston 7. I have everything labeled. We have a lot of carbon build on it. Piston rings and everything, they all look okay still. Still replacing them though. An LUK flywheel, can't go wrong. Yeah, exceed and exceeded clutch. Can't go wrong. I hope I read that right. I'll be sure to put those two in it. I have the chat so I can watch over this video and look over all your advice, which is definitely what I'll do before I throw everything together. But this is the pistons. We got a lot of carbon build, like I said, especially on the top. We can get these cleaned. Diesel. Is that okay for the bearings? Probably. He just said it's okay for bearings, so I would assume so. But everything looks decent. I am going to go ahead and replace all the bearings, though, and everything I can. So that way we don't have to be doing this job soon. Because where's 6? Let me find 6 real quick and show y'all this. This is crazy. So where's 6 at? There you go, there's 6. Alright, 6. I had to hammer hard to get off here. Like 6 would not come off at all. So there's little tiny dent marks in between these two metal gaps here. So I don't think I have to replace that. Honestly, it'll be fine. But I do know I have to replace this bearing in the middle because I hammered that and left some dents in there. And we got a good amount of carbon build once again, but diesel soaked. Yep, soak all that. Yeah, I'm going to soak all this stuff for sure in diesel. That'll definitely help me out because I didn't know what to soak it in. There's so much advice on the internet. There's expensive stuff to soak it in. There's cheap stuff to soak it in. There's weird stuff that I've never heard of, but diesel, it's just something simple. It sounds like something I know. You know, I've worked with diesel before. Not diesel engines, I'm talking just diesel, the gas, so. It's not anything crazy. Like I said, I've seen some stuff on the internet where you soak your stuff in this kit and you put wires in it and you electrify it, and I'm like, man, that's a lot of stuff. So, I was just going to use engine degreaser from O'Reilly's, but that, I'm plugging my phone, there you go. Engine degreaser from O'Reilly's, y'all, was expensive. Not cheap at all. I'm talking like, I think it was $5 a can, which doesn't sound expensive, but those cans go quick, and they don't do a good job. From my experience with how greasy it was and oily, they don't do a good job at all. I'm sure if there's a little bit of grease, like the engine had 100,000 miles on it, it would have done fine. But for my case, engine degreaser is a big no-go. But I guess diesel will probably do fine for something with high miles. Diesel is the cheapest way. Yeah, that's 100% what I figured, because degreaser was not cheap. Also, would diesel do good with this dirtiest stuff, like high mile engines? Does that kind of just clean it real well? Would I have to soak it a whole bunch of times? What would I have to do? Because I don't want to be soaking in a ton of diesel. Kind of looking for something kind of fast. Actually, now that I said it out loud, y'all, I changed my mind. I'm not looking for something fast because I got to order parts, and they probably won't be here until max Friday. So, it doesn't really matter. I have all the time to soak it in diesel. Never mind. But is diesel going to do... Yep. Yep, that's what it'll... Wait, what? Yep, that's what it's good for. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't read that from how far away I was. Yeah, I guess that'll have to do. Diesel, high mile engines, a whole bunch of grease, take it all off. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it. If you have any more advice, like I said, this time it really is it. We made it to an hour. Just wanted to do an hour live stream tonight, tell y'all what's going on. But yeah, that's, like I said, that's it. Let me know any questions, anything before I leave, any advice, especially from you, Tin Hat Shop. If you have any advice before I go, let me know before I start throwing this back together. Let's see. Let's see. All right, yep, we got one more comment. If you want a cheaper way to buy degreaser, buy a 5-gallon jug from Lowe's. It's usually half the cost of O'Reilly's. Okay. All right. Thanks for that advice. I think that's going to be it. So, all right, y'all, I'm going to hop on live one more time tomorrow, and y'all see where I'm at, and we'll hopefully throw this thing back together pretty soon. And, you know, just get it back together, get it running on the stand, throw it back in the engine, have it all done, and I'll have my daily driver back. So, besides that, that's going to be it for tonight, y'all. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the advice that all y'all gave. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow night around the same time. See y'all later.